right? And you realize that. And then in the sense of my mother grew up my superhero.
Yes.
You know, you grow up with that, and then you get older.
Yeah, the stories you tell me about your mom.
Mother is my superhero.
VIP.
And then you go to a certain point when you become like friends. I feel like
Did you develop that with him?
Who?
The biological.
Not in the same way, no.
No, not
Oh,
the same.
part
way.
of That's what I thought you were
humanization
referring to.
process too, though.
Huh?
That's part of that humanization process too.
I'm friends with my parents now.
We become, not that we're equals, but we become adults. We have responsibilities as well, and we
Yeah.
start to relate to each other in a different.
What's crazy is I feel like a parent to my parents a little bit now.
Oh,
That's the next step of
It's
it.
that
Yeah.
role reversal.
Yeah.
As they get
Yo.
older and they become more of an invalid, now you
start
the
to-
provider.
No, my father's fully capable. He's just.
You're still gonna go. You still got.
Yeah.
You haven't hit that stage yet. It's
Yeah.
coming.
It's
yeah,
the-
damn. I I don't want to think about that shit, but
'Cause
like,
my mom now she's 76,
it's
and
crazy. My
I
dad's
slowly start
72.
to see, her cognitive
A regression a
reasoning
bit, a
start-
slight regression.
And I'm like, I'm actually afraid because she's thousands of miles away.
shit.
And like, what am I gonna do? I need to go down there, put a bag over her head, kidnap her, and bring her back home.
Yeah.
Like
I thought that was going somewhere else, Ellen. I thought it was gonna get very dark.
Not the bad part. Not
I
the
was
bad
like,
part.
God
Just leave the
damn.
bad
I was
part.
like, God damn, Alan, this
She-
is getting
no,
dark.
She still feels
not the
like
bag.
I'm her child, her baby,
Yeah.
and you're gonna do what I tell you to do.
For sure.
But you don't have the capacity to take care of yourself the way you think you do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time for someone to step up and take over that role.
Yeah.
And
So my mother obviously isn't there yet.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel the parental sense in like terms of like decision making and other stuff like that. Like now I feel like she's calling me like, hey, should I? And I'm like, so like I think the parental figure is kind of going in there.
Not just
My
that.
grandmother is obviously at the part where she can't do certain things, and like it's essential. And I love her to death, and anybody knows me that my grandma's like my best friend, all right? But it's like an adult version of a toddler. And I mean that in a good way. Like lovable, this and that, and they're gonna be defiant and do what they want to do, but you gotta have like respect, because that's still somebody who has however many decades.
And she
The
probably
thing,
raised you too.
the parental
You
part
gotta have- yeah.
is not just the invalid or whatever like that. It's like I catch myself scolding them, and then I'm like,
I
yo,
do
what
that
the
too.
fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
I do that
I walk
all
into the
time.
house
Like my dad.
and I'm like, Mom,
You're like,
what the
what?
fuck is going on in the like? What is happening
me.
here?
That's me.
That's
How
literally me.
are y'all living like this?
Literally me.
I do the same.
I was
thing.
like, yo,
and then I'm
like,
like,
how
oh
long-
damn, I was wilding.
How long these grapes been in here? She was like, oh, this is good, Mom. They are
Not good.
they are not. It's like jelly now. No,
Yep.
like what is happening here?
Yeah, that's normal. That's
It's still
it's game.
good.
That's the normal
Yeah,
thing.
it's still good.
Nah,
It's still good.
Wedgie.
son.
For Sujumu.
Exactly.
I catch
Sujumu.
month away
I
from Sujumu.
religiously clean out I'll just pull up and just throw everything out in the fridge.
Yes.
Yo, they call me
That's my
the
granddad.
garbage sanitation.
Yeah,
because
word.
I just come.
I
and
just
they go
I
crazy.
just throw
all
everything
that
out.
shit.
I'm like,
My mom's like, no, that's still good. It's not.
I'm like, you haven't
it's
touched
not.
this in
Yeah.
20 years.
It's my granddad.
Shush.
Every time I go over
Yo, I went
Everything.
home and my mother hates throwing shit out. I went home
Oh,
and
that's Asian.
I found half of an apple in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and I said, Ma, like, I'm almost ashamed.
You really Haitian.
I'm almost ashamed. I'm like, Ma, I'm doing well enough where we could buy an apple. Shit's not that bad. Shit's going well enough where we could afford a couple of apples.
Always
It's
nothing.
just that's what.
That's how they grew up.
And
Yo.
the apple, that she's never going to eat it. It's
Never.
It's going to be there for years.
It's just the
I-
fact that she knows
I have a
that she
question.
has the apple there.
That's just going to be an heirloom.
I have a
Passing
question.
that down.
How many of you now have like an abundance of batteries at home?
I got hella batteries.
I have mad batteries at the house.
batteries.
Growing up, did you ever have an abundance of batteries?
Never.
Nah.
You steal them out the remote.
Yep.
Yeah.
Switch
I
'em.
think I buy 40
Freezer.
packs of batteries, bro.
Freezer, all of that.
But
Like,
Yeah.
I bought batteries
To our
thinking
parents-
I didn't have
our
batteries.
parents-
And you had
only to
40
realize
batteries.
900 batteries.
I go to Costco to get my batteries. I got
but
Exactly.
once you buy
I
that
can
one
charge a
Costco
Tesla.
box,
Buy one,
you
you
have
buy
one
forever. Yeah.
our parents are
Never had
still
batteries.
gonna go buy that one battery, two batteries.
The 4-pack.
The-
It's crazy.
Nah, I'm
That's
getting
just
the
their experience.
100
And
pack.
We got Amazon now. It's like,
Yeah.
Fuck
shit, I
you
need
mean?
batteries.
Tomorrow
I'm
by
buying
12.
a 40 pack. I'm not just buying 2 batteries. They only bought enough batteries that they needed.
My grandmother never threw batteries out. She'd
And-
take the batteries out the remote and put it somewhere else and then try to reuse them later. And I'm like, you're not getting recharged. You're done.
Chaos.
Put them in the freezer now. You get a little bit
That-
more life out of them. Put the battery in the freezer. You get a
Yo,
little more life.
So you know, Amazon has that service where you could schedule.
Subscribe and buy.
What's that called again?
You can schedule
paper
anything
towels
that-
and everything
Yeah.
getting dropped off. So I said, Mom, like you don't have to worry about going Walgreens. But she was like, yeah, but I still like going to make sure. Like she likes I guess
It's the journey.
You
the
gotta let her do
journey
it
and the
though.
tradition and everything. So I'm cool
We
with her
missed that.
going to go and do all of that. But then it's like at the same time, there are certain things where I'm just like, it's wildly unnecessary because like the toddler comment, not saying my mother's at that point, but I'm like, Ma, you're taking like wildly unnecessary risks. Like you're driving and you're on, and I'm losing my shit when I'm in the driver's seat. I mean, in the passenger seat, and my mother's on the phone, and I'm like, I never want you to drive again.
Let me ask
Wait,
you this, Alan,
I'm not
real quick.
even letting my mom drive me anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you.
And she's a great driver. Like she.
No, she
Real
insists
quick.
on driving.
But you have
What?
to let them do stuff like that because the more they slow down and stop doing stuff like that, the
Yep.
faster they
Oh
lose.
yeah, no, of course.
They just become
That's a fact.
vegetable.
Yeah,
If
that
you-
is
if
a
you-
fact.
If
That
you
is-
if you sit them down in front of the TV, you've
That's
lost
what my
them.
dad does
You've
now.
lost them completely.
I'm
Quick
like,
question for
you have
Alan
to
and
try to
Reg.
yell at him.
Quick question for Alan and Reg.
Get up.
Nah,
We're
ask-
having this
ask
conversation
the-
about how the roles switch. Who do you see of your 6 taking care of you? Who do you see of your 4 taking care of you? Who's going to be the you today to you in the future?
I think any one of them would take care of me, but I don't want to. I hope I'm never in a position where
We're always
they have
going to be in
do
that position.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Nah, man. I hope that like by the time I get old, it's like them futuristic movies where I'm in like a giant glowing white bed with like white sheets surrounded by
Somebody's taking care of you.
Yeah.
At that point.
older white women.
In my situation, it's 5 boys.
Yeah, and they float around.
Boys usually don't take.
They
Boys
don't
us-
take- boys will take care of their mother.
Yes.
They don't give a shit about their father.
Normally that's how it works.
Well, I think honestly,
Normally that's how it works,
It
B.
would be my daughter.
Not true.
That would take care of me.
Yeah.
You think one of your sons would take care of you?
Yo, my sons love the shit out of me.
They love me too.
Oh no,
But I'm
they gonna
thinking,
love you
Who's gonna actually move you in
and change
wipe
your diaper,
butt?
nigga.
My youngest, I mean, he's 9, so he thinks
Yeah.
that he gonna live with me forever.
Yeah.
He like, Dad, we just gonna build the house on top of a house, and we just gonna live there.
Right.
All right, cool.
All right.
Oldest son, he'll do that shit in a heartbeat. He'll do that shit in a heartbeat.
I'd rather move to our
But
island.
you also
Yo,
you
has
said you
your
grew up a
oldest son-
single father with him.
I did.
Oldest.
Yeah. Well, same situation. I was a single father for a while too, for a long while because there's too many in between baby.
Like,
mamas.
keep it a bit.
But-
I thought I kind of fucked it up with my oldest son. You know, like, so when I was saying being a villain, it doesn't always have to be that, especially if you cognizant of the relationship that you did or didn't have with your father.
Right.
So it was like it's easy because we in real time could like kind of shift how that timeline could be just by being a little bit more open, a little bit more like, yo, I
Understand.
fucked up.
Don't
My
scream.
bad. I did
Talk.
that shit. And if we gotta talk and we gotta build, we can actually do that. I don't not fuck with you. I fuck with you. Point blank. Period. So it's like knowing that I was able to get out of that headspace of like, damn, my kid, and I ain't do this, and I ain't left buy that nigga 900 pairs of Jordans and shit like that. It's like you feel some type of way for not being able to be a certain type of dad. Well, I ain't gonna say you. I speak for my fucking self. For me, I felt that way. Like, goddamn, I'm fucking this shit up. Not knowing that he looking at me the whole time like, nah, pops, I really understand.
Right.
Shit really be like that.
But you
like,
don't
I
feel-
get why you did what you did.
You don't feel like that in every relationship?
You said what?
You don't feel like that with every relationship? Like even like your wife, your mom, and this and that. Like, yo, I could be a better son. I could be a better husband.
1,000%.
You know? You always
But-
feel that.
Like reading the room,
Yeah.
when you know for a fact that 9 times out of 10 you show up, there's no doubt in your mind that you are who you are. It's not to say that your magic don't diminish, but you know for a fact that you give the best of what you have to who you love.
Yeah,
Point
sure.
blank
That's a
period.
fact.
So you ain't gotta second guess that shit.
I'm not gonna address the magic don't diminish part, wife. But
Hey.
I would probably retire on an island. Like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of the thought of being a burden to my kids. I'll probably retire on an island somewhere or like, I don't know. Like if I'm like so like debilitated, like that I can't like move around. Yeah, I'm just gonna like move to an island, bro, and just have
A young girl.
like impoverished women take care of me.
Impoverished.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
the
man.
goal. I don't think
Some
anybody,
18-year-old
I'm not
Honduras
relying on
Word
it.
up.
I don't want my kids to take care of me. I hope I'm in a position where I've amassed enough wealth where
Man,
It's
you
not
can do
even
that
a
shit
problem.
right now, but if it's really not that expensive
So-
to go to the island, and you know what I mean.
for sure. I
They
got my own
really
Puerto Rico.
down bad down there, bro. It's
Come
bad.
on.
So Gilbert Arenas said something the other day, and it kind of like stuck with me. He was like, in black families, we're kind of taught that you get older, you take care of your parents.
Yep.
You send the money
White
back.
families, they do not.
Right?
I saw that
That's
too.
a
I saw
dope
that.
topic.
And he was like,
Saw that one
in
yeah,
white
that was
families,
good.
they're taught to push the money forward
Right.
to the kids, and the kids, you know? And then black families just send the money
You will take care
backwards.
of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And
I
in
think
doing
a
so,
lot
we're
of that's
setting ourselves back.
Yep.
due to the circumstance. So I think that's a lot of that's connected to what we were talking about forcing the kids to grow up too fast and all that other shit. Like, I don't want to be a burden because I just don't like the idea of like that level of like. Thanks for watching. For more content, please check out these videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And all of the good stuff is actually on our Patreon. Go subscribe.